Greetings, everyone. This is the Gardening Snail of Livingston, California, just trying to keep the community informed and local government as honest as possible. For the second time in less than 2 years, the City of Livingston, California has lost a police chief well before their contract was set to expire. The first was the resignation of Chief Ruben Chavez in early 2020. His resignation threw a major monkey wrench into a carefully crafted succession plan, leaving some people wondering if politics were at play. This succession plan had been created after both Chief Chavez and Captain Soria had announced their intentions to retire. It was designed to allow for the recruitment and interview of potential candidates for both positions, as well as allow for a smooth transition period for the new hires to take place before both Chavez and Soria retired. After the resignation of Ruben Chavez, Captain Soria was given the responsibility to act as the interim police chief until a new police chief could be hired. The interview process for the next chief included 2 interview panels. The first was made up of members of law enforcement and focused on the more technical aspects of the job. The second was made up of residents who focused more on the community relations aspects of the job. Councilmember Kang was present as an observer of the community panel interviews. A place was set aside for Mayor Pro Tem Garcia to observe, but he ended up not attending. John Markle was sworn in on June 7, 2021. During his first 100 days as chief, Markle stated he wanted to get vacant positions filled, build partnerships with law enforcement and the community to help with homelessness and mental health issues, come up with a strategic plan to address shootings, meet members of the community, emphasize training and find money for training, and work on getting a second school resource officer. However, it wasn't too long after that rumors began to circulate that some members of the council were not happy with the hiring of Chief Markle over one of their own favored candidates. After 2 members of the PD were put on leave, then later arrested for filing a false police report, those rumors intensified. The most recent rumor, which you are free to take with a grain of salt or two, was that pressure was mounting to somehow rehab, or whatever you want to call it, one, if not both of those 2 members of the PD. Push was becoming close to shove, and the only way Chief Markle could keep his dignity and reputation intact was to retire. And not only retire, but make sure he announced that retirement publicly. From what I understand, after accepting his retirement, the interim city manager immediately relieved him of all duties and escorted him out. This sudden decision to push out Chief Markle strikes me as being either A snap decision made without thought and no backup plan in place, or B, there already was some kind of plan in place, but we were not supposed to know about it. Most likely because it was off the books and not even discussed under a city council closed session as an employee release. That's the only thing that makes sense to me at this point in time. You might have a different opinion. However, Chief Markle leaving begs at least a couple of questions. For example, what comes next? Obviously, we're going to need to hire a new police chief sooner or later. And will there be a real recruitment effort? Or will we just end up with someone who already has an in with the majority of the city council? Any views or opinions I express on these videos are my own and do not represent the views or opinions of the city council or City of Livingston. Unless, of course, I am using direct quotes or video from city council or other public meetings, then it's pretty obvious whose opinion is whose. Copies of source documentation available upon request.